Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Nafakri. My group partner is Muhammad Izzat and Muhammad Abzal. Our group chose a thermocouple transducer for this assignment. First, I will explain about the sensor and transducer. First, we have sensor. A sensor is a device that measures a physical quantity and convert it into a signal which can be read by an observer or by an instrument. Some applications of the sensor are using as a pressure level in oxygen tank and patient monitoring. Next, the transducer are a device that retrieves energy from one system and transmit it to another, often in a different form, such as thermocouple that sends heat energy and transmit it in form of voltage. Transducer applied at engine control, HVAC monitoring and steering system on vehicle. As you can see, the relationship between temperature and the output voltage is type K has an exponential increasing voltage. The difference in voltage become easy to measure and more accurate at higher temperature. Type K thermocouple voltage differ only 1 or 2,000 of a millivolt for every degree Celsius. At extremely higher temperature around 1350 degrees Celsius, voltage differ about 3.3 hundredths of a millivolt per degree Celsius. Next, my partner will continue the presentation.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Abdul Irfan Jeffrey. So now we will continue to the working principle of thermocouple. So thermocouples employ a probe made by inserting two different metals together to produce a junction at one end to which a voltmeter is linked at the other end to measure the temperature. The hot junction at the end of the probe is used to make contact with the object whose temperature is being monitored, while the cold junction end of the probe is kept at a constant temperature. So next we will talk about the type of thermocouple transducer. So we have different type for the thermocouple transducer, which is the J, K, T, N, E, B, R and S. So depending on the specific metal used to fabricate the thermocouple, each of these type has specific characteristic relating to its temperature range, vibration resistance, chemical compatibility and applications. So for our assignment, we choose the type K thermocouple because one of them is the most common type of thermocouple transducer that we use in industry. So about the thermocouple, it is a coupling of chromal and aluminum wires, has range of -270 degree to 1260 degree and an output of -6.4 to 54.9 millivolt over maximum temperature range. It is also known as general purpose thermocouple due to its wide range of temperature. Second, the type K has a longer life than type J, as in type J, Fe iron wire oxidize rapidly, especially at higher temperatures. And third is they are inexpensive, so all of us can afford to buy the thermocouple transducer. Next, have a fast response, small in size and reliable. And lastly, generally used at temperature above 554 degrees Celsius. And so we will talk about the working principle of thermocouple transducer, which is the type K. So a thermocouple is grounded when both thermocouple wires and shaft are all welded together to form one junction at the probe tip. Grounded thermocouple has a very good response time because thermocouple is making direct contact with the shaft, allowing it to transfer easily. At the poster, there is the specification of material used and temperatures range on thermocouple. So as we see on the type of thermocouple, which is the K, the type of material used is chromal aluminum, and its temperature range is -200 degree to 1200 degrees Celsius. So my friend will continue this presentation. Thank you.
Okay, I will explain about suitable controller for thermocouple transducer. A PID temperature controller is a device that regulates the temperature without requiring considerable user invitation. In a temperature control system, a PID controller will take an input from a temperature sensor like a thermocouple and compare the actual temperature to indicate the control temperature or the set point. The output will subsequently be sent to control element. At the figure above, there is a plot diagram for PID controller for a function of temperature, and there is a PID controller, and the first thing is the set point or the input will comes into the PID controller, and the controller will generate the output and come into the processor, and then the processor will continues to the sensor feedback and come into the PID controller. For the block diagram, it's suitable for monitoring the temperature application. Okay, next I will show the figure of PID controller for temperature control. This is the image of PID controller for temperature control use. I will continue with the application in the industry. Okay, type cake thermocouple transducer with PID controller are commonly used for measurement in different type of environment such as water, mild chemical, gases and dry area. It's commonly used because the capability in function in a rugged environmental condition. The most use of the thermocouple transducer is to testing the temperature associated with a process plant such as chemical production or petroleum refinements, or with suitable also with heating appliance safety. That's all from our group. Thank you.